Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. My favorite day of the week. Welcome to Lessons and Legacies. This is episode 43. Oh my gosh. 7 more to go till the end of season 1.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So, before we get into today, I have to welcome my very special guests. This is round 2 for laughter with us. Yes, I think so.
Yep.
So we'll start with Dalila. Go ahead, introduce yourself, then Precious, and then I'll give everybody else a little bit about myself. And then we are going to have some fun today. We have shown up ready to make you laugh.
That's right. Hello, I'm Dalila Brown. Second time on the show. It's fun just to laugh. And of course, this is my favorite subject, pet peeves. Come on. I have like 9,000. So I'm excited to hear what your pet peeves are. And if people chime in on comments, I would love to hear all those pet peeves too.
Absolutely.
This is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Hello, my name is Precious Paulin. I'm the mom of 5 amazing kids, a wife of 18 years. I'm the soul doctor, prophetic poet, roles and titles. I can go on and on, but most importantly, I've come to help you clean out the virus in your heart drive, baby. And so I'm just excited to laugh, to find the lighter things in life. You know, so often I think we spend a lot of time complaining or being comfortable complaining. This gives us the opportunity to laugh at the small stuff, to communication, to not take life so harsh, but to enjoy it more. So I'm excited about us putting a magnifying glass on enjoying life.
Yes. And like I said earlier, I'm Melissa Price. I am your host of Lessons and Legacies, and mother of 2, wife of 1, and happy entrepreneur. I love coming here and doing this, and starving but happy. You know, that whole artist syndrome, right? But yes. So today, we have the topic of what really grinds your gears. And before we get going into that, I have to share some things about the numbers of today's show with you. I got in a tailspin with the numbers earlier. So let me wet my whistle because it's Friday and we're ready to laugh, right? Cheers. Virtual toast to everybody. So the last time we were on together, it was the 18th.
Okay.
And the numbers of, so it was the 18th. That was the last time I have done a laughter episode. So it's been, like I said, 18 days. We're due for a laughter break here. So it's been 18 days. And the last time we did it happened to be on the 18th. And then, so I got kind of into it with the numbers. 18 boils down to 9, and I know 9 has been showing up a lot for the last week for myself. I know for William Brown, I know it's 9 keeps showing its head. It's a number of purpose and fruition, you know. And then what was funny is today's episode is episode number 43, which boils down to 7. And then, let's see, where was my 3 in there? I had this all wrapped up here. Okay. And then the date, today's date, February 5th, 2021 equals 12, which boils down to a 3. So we have a 9, we have a 3, and we have a 7 for today's episode. On the 18th, the last time we were on, the date boiled down to a 7. And the episode was episode 30, which boiled down to 3. And then it was on the 18th, which is your 9. So this episode and the last episode that we were on all have the 9, 7, 3, which is kind of cool. So yeah, you know, I like to do my numbers. There's a lot of fruition and completion and contemplation and all that. So we're here ready to contemplate some pet peeves. And after, right? So Before I actually took the time and have been making a
We'll try to move
list
inside.
and did some research over the last week, putting this list of pet peeves together. I do have a top 20. So before I start rolling into it, do you have any personal pet peeves off the top of your head, Precious?
Ah,
What's something that really gets you?
I definitely have some pet peeves. One of them would be leaving your plate on the table when you're passing the garbage.
Yes, I don't like that.
If you go in a different direction, that's one thing. But if you leave and if you're gonna leave it and pass the garbage, that's like a small pet peeve.
Mine will they will take their dish and set it on the counter right over top the dishwasher. It's like too hard for them to open the door and slide the plate inside, you know. So I can relate to that one. Dalila, you got any pet peeves off the top of your head?
sorry, I had to like move inside. I don't know what was going on outside.
Oh, the signal, yeah, we
No,
see
you're
you
good.
getting around.
I'm like moving
That's the
everything
goodness
up.
of that.
Oh, you're good.
Real loud. You
To fix it. They'll fix it.
I'm moving things around. Okay. Yeah. Well, all my pet peeves, which is are surrounded with people's driving.
Oh yeah, those
Oh
are
my-
good. Those are
oh
good.
my-
I think I have some of those on the list.
It's
And
horrible.
I have some pet peeves of drivers too.
It's bad. It's bad. It's just people just get on my nerves. So it's better for me if I'm not out in the general public in a car.
Right. Yeah, I have a lot of pet peeves with driving too. Another one I have is personally, this is just little ones. These aren't on the list, but like if somebody puts empty stuff back in the refrigerator.
Yes.
We've got 2 young kids and a husband that does it too. I think that pet peeves me more. That grinds my gears more when he does it because I'm like, how old are you? You know better.
Right.
Put it
I
in the
don't
trash.
like the empty container on a counter. That drives me. You mean you drank it all up and just left it there? That's a pet peeve.
Right. Yep. What was another one? Do you guys have any issues with the way that the toilet paper is on the roll by chance?
I don't.
You
I
don't
don't
care?
have an issue, but I do have a preference.
I have a preference. It's not, again, it wouldn't be like, it wouldn't really grind my gears, but I definitely have a preference.
No, but there are some people who it has to be a certain way.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to clarify that I prefer, if I am putting the toilet tissue on there first, I'm putting it my way, you know?
Right.
So, because while we both have a preference, nobody is like irate about it. So it's whoever put it on a roll gets it their way.
Right.
Have you ever fixed it? Have you ever fixed the roll in somebody else's house? I have. I have. And I feel like I'm doing them a favor. I'm like, oh, let me put this the right way.
No, you're
That's
not.
hilarious.
It will save you.
No, you're not. You're actually interrupting their flow, is what you just did.
Right. Unless they don't care. Unless they
hilarious.
don't care either way. And I probably mess with them too. They go to the bathroom like, it's just me here. How did this get switched? You know?
That's funny.
That's kind of a funny way. I might just start messing with people when I go visit.
Somebody sneaking in. Paranoid. Don't do that to no signal person don't do that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That would really freak
They'll
them
be
out.
so paranoid. Oh my God. Don't do it to a single person. Make sure they have a roommate or something.
That's awesome. No, I have it in the forefront of my mind. I'm going to do that now.
Oh my gosh.
It's gonna be like my secret little mischief mission. And I can't wait to get the phone call or see the Facebook post from the person that's like, I don't understand why my toilet paper roll is switching itself, you know? All right, going into the pet peeves. All right, what really grinds our gears, which is an interesting phrase in itself. I came up with 3 things centered around this. It was like, okay, so you've got what grinds your gears, what pisses you off. Think about that one. We were doing language last time we were on, so I'm like,
right.
off. and frosts your ass. I don't know if you've ever heard that
I have
one.
never heard that.
I use it all the time. It must be, I don't know, maybe it's a Michigan thing. I don't know. But you know what really frosts my ass?
That's hilarious.
And then pet peeves. All interesting ways to describe things that really annoy the crap out of us. So, in an effort to bring you guys some laughter, we're going to go down the top 20. We'll see if you guys, where everybody
disagree with that. Let's see.
And if anybody else has pet peeves, pop them in the comments. Pop your pet peeves in the comments. So, rolling in at number 20 on the list, we have loud chewing or loud drinking. Do you guys know any loud chewers or drinkers?
I am.
You are? Which one? Both?
Rondell stops and looks at me sometimes. Like, yeah, how loud you're chewing. Is your ears close to your mouth?
Are you a loud chewer or a loud drinker?
Yes, I am. Not a loud drinker. I'm not a gulp. I don't be gulping. But I'm allowed to. I think when he says it, sometimes I guess I'm hungry. You know, do y'all see this new TikTok video where the kids are like, this is TikTok video where you're eating, and if somebody is watching you eat and you're really eating like intensely, there is like nom, 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 and they like record you. I gotta send you like 3 because my kids catch us in here all the time. But it's like you're so into the food, like you know, like nobody else is in the room, and then it like screams. I gotta send you some, but that's what it makes me think of. Like I'm enjoying it so much that he's.
That's funny.
So I can't be guilty of smacker. I'm a smacker.
See some of those. I need to see some of those. That's hilarious. That's another thing. Maybe I'll start doing to my family. Just start recording them at dinner time.
There's a background noise that they actually that goes to it, so it's like viral because when you see it, they're catching them like in the middle of a rest. It doesn't matter. They like, and it's strangers. They can catch a stranger going in like this is their last supper. That's what it looks like.
That's hilarious. My youngest daughter, Sophie, is a huge loud drinker. That doesn't bother me. I think I can gulp.
What's a loud drinker?
I gotta be really needing it, you know. But every time she drinks, we actually joke with her and tell her she needs to do like smoothie commercials, like
gulp, gulp, gulp.
So you're in the
smoothie king, you know.
That's funny.
But that makes me laugh when I hear people gulp, you know.
Oh, okay, it's the gulping.
The gulping. I like it. I think it's funny. I think it's it makes me giggle.
I don't like when people have a straw at the end of their drink and they're. I hate that. I'm like, oh my god.
The slurping sound.
Yeah, the slurping
sound.
It's like take the straw. What I do when I come to the end of my drink, I take my straw out, take the lid off, and drink it like a human.
Oh, the bottom, trying to get the bottom.
Oh my god, it drives me insane. I'm just oh my god.
I don't like that either because I always feel like at the bottom of the drink it's mostly spit. You know, like the gross stuff. Like who wants to slurp that last little bit up? I feel like you're drinking spit. It's just gross. I don't like that either. And, I don't. My oldest daughter, she's more of a loud chewer. She gets very into them. That and the other thing that bothers me. That it makes me twitch a little bit. Like, it's close. Stop. You don't want to hear it. You know.
That's funny.
All right. Moving on down the line, we have at number 19, being late. Are you a notoriously late person? Does it bother you when people are late? Does it bother you when you're late? I am a habitually late person. I hate it about myself. I have to say that. It's like no matter what I do, because I get so anxious. When I'm running to the wire, I'm like, oh my gosh, I only got 2 more minutes to get it done. I'm like, my heart's racing, I'm sweating, I'm shaking. I'm like, oh, if I would have just gave myself 10 more minutes. But I lollygag. I don't know what it is.
Lollygag.
That's what I was gonna use. I'm a lollygagger, and then it's like I lost time, and I'm like, like I've been planning all day to leave on time, but the lollygagging got me to the last moment, and now I'm trying to figure it out. So I'm somebody's pet peeve, you know. Now
I think we all will make the list.
It is. Like, you know, I don't want you to be offended. I'm late for my own stuff. It's not just you. It is my time management. So that's what I had to work on. I told Rondell we wouldn't be married almost 19 years if I had to wear makeup or put the stuff on. If it wasn't just lipstick and go, we wouldn't stand a chance because I'm already late. Imagine if I had to add makeup to the pie. I would be happily married. I can tell you that.
What about you, Dalila? Where does being late set with you?
I'm not like, for me, I would say I'm like in the middle. Like, it just depends maybe what I'm doing or what I'm doing before I'm going somewhere. Sometimes I'll be super early and be waiting. And I don't mind waiting for people. That doesn't bother me. But then sometimes I'm like precious. I'm like sitting around doing other things and then realize, oh shoot, I should have left 20 minutes ago. Whoops.
Right.
But it doesn't bother me. But what I find interesting, and I guess they do have a point, people that for them, if this is a pet peeve, they take it so personally. They're just like, they don't, they're not respecting my time and they just care only about themselves. I'm like, oh my God, slow down. Jeez. People can be late sometimes.
Listen, and then I think another thing that we got to address is people got different strong suits.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not telling you what I'm doing right when you're on time. Like, yeah, you're early. Listen, I tell my husband all the time, you are so early, but you don't have your wallet, your hat, all your. What about the person who's on time but unprepared? I might be 15 minutes late, but I got everything.
Right, exactly, right.
I turned off all the lights. I'm like the person that's running around like, is the stove off? Is the lights off? It's just how I am. So those extra minutes, I'm going to sacrifice because I'd rather be late than early with a problem.
Right, exactly. That is true.
Yes. My kids are like that too. I'll be like, come on, we got to get ready. We got to go to the store, this and that. And they'll look at me. We are ready. I'm like, where's your shoes? I'm standing there with my coat, my keys, the purse, the dog, and the leash. And they're like, well, we're ready. Still barefoot. Right. I'm like, no.
Right.
It bothers me when other people are late, and it bothers myself when I'm late. And I don't know why I have such a hard time. It could be 2 minutes, it could be 20 minutes, but I have a real hard time being on time. It's gotta be like apocalyptical stuff for me to be right there in time, or early, I guess. Apocalyptical to get me there early.
Right.
But, all right, rolling in at 18 on the list. Interrupting.
Oh.
I am a bad interrupter right here. Really
That's
bad.
Not a peeve of mine. I think I've learned to overtalk. So that's how I pick those pet peeves. I'm just like, wait a minute, I got something to say. So yeah, but I'm okay with an interrupter because I think that you don't know what it feels like to have a point. And some people can hold it and some people just can't. And, you got to respect who you are. And if it's a valid point, you might have to be like, hold up, wait a minute. And ain't going to stay here until you finish. So, most people are people who think faster than they speak. And so it's like, if I don't get this stuff out, but, you ever go and be like, I wish I said that. And I wish I said that. That's because you didn't interrupt. By the time they gave you the floor, you forgot all the points you had. Right. Now you wishing you had said something. So interruption sometimes steers the conversation a different way. Because if I allow you to keep on going that way and I don't interrupt you when you're way off left field, now we just wasted 10 minutes of my time that I can't get back. So I'm going to interrupt you so that we can moderate this conversation and make sure that it don't take us too long to get to the bottom line. So yeah.
Right. I totally agree with that because you lose track of what you were going to say, and then if you let them finish and then you just totally forget, oh shoot, I forgot what I was going to tell you. It's like, so I say it in a nice way. I say, my joke with my friends is I always say I have a side note to this, or I want to have a side conversation about what you just said, but excuse me for interrupting, but I got to say this because I'm going to forget if I don't say it. So right. I don't think it's a disrespect thing. I don't know. I think as women, when you're caught up in a conversation with say you're with a group of women, it's hard not to interject and interrupt, especially if something comes to your mind on something that they're talking about. So I don't know. It also depends, I guess, what company you're with.
Right.
If you know they wouldn't mind, interruptions here and there. So I don't know.
Yeah, it happens on both levels. Like I run with people like, who talk and we're loud and we like to go. So in that moment and in that circle, yes, you've got your women over talking to each other, but the vibe and energy, everything is good and it's up and we're just excited, like almost like a concert sort of situation. But there's habitual interrupters, and I'll say it. My mom is one. She's a huge one. I talk to my mom every day. I have for years, and I'll be talking, and she's like, "How was your day?" This and that. I will start talking and saying, "This was my day. This was that." Da 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 da. I'll be in the middle of a sentence, and she'll be like, "Did I tell you that I went to the bank earlier?" Like, totally cut me right off. It has no bearing. Like, were you even listening that I was telling you I just got on iHeartRadio or this or that? Like, poof, totally has no bearing. And so I'll be like, "Yeah, so cool." And then anyway, so yeah, what I was saying was, and then I did this and that and this and that.
Right.
And did I tell you that when I went to the bank, who I ran into outside? I'm like, what is happening right now? That kind of interrupting bothers me.
Yeah.
The interrupting as in excited, mostly women talking over each other. I don't see men doing that a whole lot, but I guess they probably do. A bunch of excited dudes talking. I think humans just do that. But it's like when you've asked somebody a question, wait for the response and listen to it.
Right. Let me tell you a fun fact. Oops, was that an interruption?
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Interrupted. So
did I just do number 18? I was about to say, let me tell you a fun fact about interrupting. You know what I learned? Okay, so being married for years, I think it's the great interrupters. Being in relationship, you interrupt each other through life. Like, hold up, where you going? So but what I learned when I started going live back in, I guess, when me and Rondell started doing perspective in the poll with the poll, so we were doing it when we first started in 2016. Before I had met everybody, right? And so we would go, and when I would play back now, so through all of those years, by that point, we had still been married over 10 years. So who?
Speaking of interruption.
Interruption.
Isn't it idea? Hey, DJ. My nephew's got here.
Hey, DJ.
So when I interrupt, isn't this idea? Look.
That's hilarious.
Perfect timing.
I mean, you can't make this up. You just can't make this up. But this is what I found. I was watching our lives. We would always go back. We was like, you don't let me finish and da. But you can't see it, because how can you see it when it's just you and his perspective? But when I started to watch our lives in the very beginning, I got better at hearing him say, "You're interrupting me." Before I was like, I ain't interrupting you. You don't get to say it first. But when I started to watch my lives with him, I saw how much I did interrupt him in our conversations. So that was something that taught me to not be offended when he felt like I was interrupting him, and really seeing that I be so, because like I said, I be thinking 100 miles per hour, that looking at it was like, wow, I was interrupting. So I see it different, and so now he's like, oh, I'm trying to say something. I don't be like, who you think? It's like, oh, okay, go ahead, finish. Because I know that I can get so excited with my words, like the word specialist. I love words. I'm like, hold up, and they fly in so fast that is like, dag, I'm not even letting you say your point. I'm gonna give you 10 points to disagree with before I give you a chance to, say, okay, can I get one in? So, still working on that, but I'm not offended by him saying, you're cutting me off. Now I can see when I'm cutting him off.
Right.
That's what it took for me. I didn't realize I was so bad at it until I don't know. I think it probably was my husband. It was years ago. I realized wow, I just boop. And that's what it is. I get so excited. I'm like, it just boils up out of me. And he's like, you did it again. You did it again. You did it again. You see how many times you just did that in a minute,
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes being reminded and pointed out to for that to happen, for us to make a difference anyways. But All right, so this next one I like a lot. Number 17 is gonna be talking during a movie.
Oh yeah. Ugh.
It could be a movie in your living room, or back in the day, pre-pandemic days when we used to go to the cinema for the cinematic
Don't come for us, Melissa.
Yes, are you
Melissa,
a
did you
wait?
hear me?
What is it? No, what'd you
she
say?
say?
I said it's Black History Month. Don't come for us, Melissa.
I'm not coming. No, I'm not coming for you. I'm not coming for you. It bugs me. I know. Well,
Don't come
you
for
know
us,
what?
Melissa, which is number 17.
My
I
youngest,
was just
Sophie, she's notorious for it. I don't know. I get sucked up into movies, and I don't mind if there's background noise, but when they turn and they're talking to you in your ear, like, hey, and like trying trying to really get your attention. I'm like, but
Right.
you see everybody's sitting here watching the movie right now. Like, stop.
So I have to tell you a funny story. My sister and I went to the movies once, and this is when I don't want to be late. I hate when people walk in and it's already dark. That's one of my pet peeves about movies. I hate that. And they're looking for their seat, and they got 19 kids. I'm like, really? Anyway,
Right.
so
After the movie started, right?
my sister's the opposite. She likes to get there, right when they're about to start not the movie, but like the previews.
Mhm.
So let's just say that we were enjoying ourselves beforehand. So we got there, so we're being a little bit silly. We got shushed by some old lady, and I wanted to say something. My sister's non-confrontational, and I wanted to say something, and she's like, no, let's just move. So we moved. It was literally during the previews. Why are you shushing me during previews?
Right.
It's not even the freaking.
During previews.
It's not even the freaking movie yet. I just didn't get that. I'm just like,
They be practicing that shush. They be practicing
I
that.
know. Oh my gosh. I was just like, all right. So we moved away from her,
Waiting too.
so we wouldn't bother her.
I think being shushed is a pet peeve too.
I know.
Just in itself. Did you just shush me?
Did you just
Like
shush
you're
me?
something?
Now
It's
that is a
something
pet peeve.
when you get
Especially
shushed,
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, obviously, Precious, you saying you're down for talking during a movie? It's like I will talk the whole movie away.
Listen, now I'm not that bad, but hun, when I moved, I be like, did y'all see that? Wait a minute. And I'm thinking I miss parts sometimes because I'm like, this is not going on. So I'm that talker, like, we gotta wait. Side note, pause. What's going on right here? So it depends. So yeah, I'm not bad in the movie theater, but if I'm home, I ain't gonna be yelling at the screen. I have good etiquette, outside etiquette. But if you're in my house and I'm watching it, I have no etiquette.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I say the same thing. The other thing I can't stand too, since we were talking about movie theaters, which I hate more than the talking situation, because in the movie theater, the sound is so loud it rumbles your seat. Like really, somebody's got to be really making a ruckus for that to bother me so much.
Right.
I just don't like when somebody's right in my ear. But what does bother me is when you're in the dark movie theater and the person next to you maybe is like not into the movie, and so they're checking your Facebook, and so there's this big white glowing orb next to you,
right,
like up in your peripheral, and it's messing with your viewing. I don't like the person who's on the cell phone in the dark theater right next to you.
Right.
That's a pet peeve for me. All right, 16. How about slow walkers or slow drivers? You get behind people at the grocery
Nakia says she hate getting beat by another car.
What's that?
Nakia, y'all see the comments?
She said that?
She hates getting beat by another car.
Oh, that's funny.
I hate getting beeped by another car. Yeah, I don't like that either. It's like, excuse you? It's like getting shushed. It's like getting shushed.
Oh my God, that's funny. Well, no, sometimes beeping is justifiable. So
beeping has it's there for a reason.
So I'm gonna have to pick on your friend William. He is the most passive driver I have ever met in my life, and obviously I'm the opposite.
Right.
So we've been married for 30 years. So it took me about 25 years to just bite my tongue when he's driving. And I feel like, he stays behind a truck too long on the highway. That bugs me to crap. I'm like, oh my God, why are we still behind this tractor trailer for how many miles? What else? Oh, he never beeps. I think I have never heard him beep once. 30
Really?
years together, I have never heard him beep at another car.
Aw.
Me on the other hand.
Right. She's like speed racer down the highway.
Look, my beeping is justified, although
Right.
some people don't think it is, William. My beeping is justified when you don't use turn signals, when you stop for no freaking reason. You literally just stop.
Yes.
Why were you stopping in the middle of the road?
When you don't know that the light turned green.
Right.
I'm better at that. I used to be one of those people that as soon as it turned green, I was like, I'm getting better because, we're in the South. Yes, I said it. There's a lot of slow people down here. So anyway.
True.
So,
Coming from New York, let me tell you something. I drove in New York and it scared me. Scared the lights out of me, but Jesus out of me.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I went to New York one time too, and it's the only place I've ever been where the traffic is like, it's life-threatening. People don't stop at the stoplight.
Literally.
My first 10 minutes out of the subway and up on the street, I saw a taxi van rear end another taxi. Like literally went through like double taxi thing. I had a disposable camera at this time, if that gives any indication of my age.
Wow.
There were no phones at that point that had good cameras. So I was like,
oh my God.
A tourist in New York, right?
That's funny.
I mean, I got in a wreck in a taxi in New York.
Oh my gosh.
We were little.
Oh,
like,
wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like it was like 4 of us. So they all had us grow till we was older. But yeah, we had got into a wreck going from one place to another in a taxi cab. Wow. You can't play in New York, let me tell you.
Yvette's in the house. She says, when I go for a walk, I take my time walking slowly and not fast. And so what we know about Yvette here is that Yvette has had knee surgery. And so she has been healing and recovering for quite some time now. So I'm not saying that slow walkers who have a reason to be walking slow bother me.
Absolutely.
What I'm talking about is that person with the shopping cart at the grocery store that's literally in the middle of the aisle and you cannot pass on one side or the other, and they're just impervious to everything around them, and they're taking their time like they're at the spa.
Right.
I don't like that. Like, get to one side of the highway here so I can pass you as you are reflecting on what can of beans you wish. You know?
And let me interrupt for a moment and tell you one thing. There's a reason why I don't walk slow. You know what I tell myself in my head when I'm walking, into the grocery store and somebody's passing, or I'm walking? I walk so expeditiously only for this reason alone. I do not know the mental capacity of that person. I do not want to be the last straw in their day. I don't think we recognize how serious a world we live in. And people are on their last leg sometimes. And while you may just be in la la land, it could be the worst day of their life. So for that alone, I try to move. Because you just don't know if you're gonna be the person that send them over or bring them back. I would rather be the person that brings them back than send them over. I'm intentional in how I move for that reason, because you just never know.
That's it. That's a very good reason. And I'm going to skip ahead. I know we're on 16 right now, but I'm going to just go to 14 and circle back to 15.
Wait, what was 15? I still want to know, though.
We're going to go to 15 next. But turning without a signal, Dalila, you said that it made the list. I have to, since it was mentioned, I want to go there.
Well, just like you were saying about the slow walkers are kind of like, what was the word you used, that aren't, like they're not
impervious
to what's going around them. And that's how I feel a lot of drivers are.
Yes.
Just in general. It's like, I'm in my car, I'm going from A to B, pretty much screw everybody else if I don't turn a turn signal on, if I'm driving really. Oh, that's the other thing. If like the speed limit
is like, super distracting.
Like the speed limit is 45 and they're literally going like 30.
Yes.
I'm just like, oh my God. Why are you going so slow?
Yes.
And then I try to be nice and be like, well, maybe they're not a confident driver. But then the devil part of me says they shouldn't be on the road then if they're not comfortable driving.
Exactly. That part right there. That part. Well, listen.
Listen, that's why I've been looking for a driver my whole life. I got Rondell for now.
He's your chef chauffeur, chef daddy chauffeur, right?
I don't have a problem with me driving. I have a problem with the other people I'm driving with. That's my problem. Now, if I could go from here to New York and I'm the only one on the highway, I'll go with and I'll drive the whole time.
Right.
These the other people who are easily distracted. People are texting. They are there. They're to their favorite song that they don't even see you next to them. And so that's the scary part of just the new age driving is so many distractions now.
Oh my gosh. The people that do not make a right on red when you are able to.
Right.
And it gets back to what Precious just said. They're on their phone. They're talking to whoever is sitting next to them. I'm like, this is not your personal space. We are all on this road together. If you want to be on your phone, guess what? Get off the road. Go park somewhere. It bugs me to no end. I'm like, I'm always screaming, make a right on red. Why are we sitting here?
We're too busy for even safety these days. That's why we are in the isolate and reset, pay attention, quality over quantity type of movement right now, because it's so much going on because we're just not in any moments. We are either in the past or in the future, but being present is something that we have a hard time doing. Being present. So
yep, that's true.
Yvette says that happened to me at the shopping mall. I see people buying things, so I just walk to the other side. That way I don't have to bend to that person. Well, like I said, I don't think if people see that you're having a hard time and whatnot, I'm not one of those people that gets frustrated with people who are having a difficult time and need to be moving slow for a reason. For me, it's just, be aware of your surroundings sort of thing. If you're sitting there wanting to take a day break at that shelf,
Right. Or how about the people that have full on conversations in the middle of the aisle? That's
a parking lot.
It's like, oh, Melissa, I haven't seen you forever. Let's sit here for 30 minutes and talk about our kids. I'm like, what? I'm like, no.
In their defense, they are definitely in the now. They're in the present. You see, they are so present that they forgot y'all were there.
Mm-hmm. Right. All right. This is a good segue here. So we know those people who are having their buddy chats in the supermarket or in the middle of the road.
Exactly.
Just pull off to the shoulder of the road.
On their phone too. Do you see
miles an hour?
There's nobody even there. They're in the middle of the hall in the middle of the aisle with a buddy chat on the phone though. Like, yo, you're blocking the aisle. And they're not even talking to anybody there.
Right.
Like your buddy chat is on the phone. So you're like, you're in the middle of the aisle and your buddy chat. And now that has happened to me once or twice. I have to say, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I answered the phone and was like, oh, hey, somebody that I hadn't spoken to in a while, and I forgot that I was pushing a cart. So, I can be guilty sometimes, but that's what gives me the empathy in the times that somebody's there for me to say, oh, excuse me, ma'am, just because I had to go into the moment where I was the person blocking the aisle in a third person conversation and nobody can see.
It happens.
Life gives me balance, I find.
Wait, it's like I have to tell you guys a funny story really quick before we get off the turn signal. So I had just dropped the kids off at school. This was many moons ago. And this woman in front of me what's funny is we were happening to go to the same place. We were both going to Panera's. But she just stops without a turn signal and pulls into the parking lot. So I don't know what came over me that day. Because most of the time, even though I said I am kind of confrontational, but not really. I think I am, but I'm really not. Mm-hmm. So we were in Panera's and she was in line in front of me. And I tapped her on the shoulder. And she's like, yes. I said, I think there's something wrong with your car. She's like, what do you mean? I said, well, because, your turn signal is not working. You just came to a stop and turned into the parking lot. You should have seen her face. Her face was like, I knew she was just like, really? I'm like, yes.
That's such a cute shade. I love it.
I'm just letting you know that I don't think your turn signal is working. She's like, I
I
think
know it
it's
wasn't you, it was the car.
right,
I've done
exactly.
like that. I've done stuff like that. Sometimes you have to like subtly let somebody know because it
Right.
makes you feel so much better. Otherwise, it's not going to put that flame out that's burning in you.
Well,
That peeve flame that's going.
right.
"Ugh."
Well, Bill makes fun of me because I used to write notes and leave it on people's cars.
I've done it.
I've stopped
done
doing
a
it
few
though.
times.
I stopped doing that. I used to do it for people that parked really bad, which is another of my pet peeve is people that don't park correctly.
Mhm.
And Bill's like, what?
That's what I do.
He's like, do you really think they're gonna care? They're gonna come out to the car and read a note that you wrote? I said, to point to what Melissa just said, I want them to know that they are bad. They're a bad
They're bad.
parker, and I want them to spend the whole day thinking about this. He's like,
Think about it and going and practicing. Go to that parking lot and practice now because I left that note for you. You're gonna
exactly.
go practice.
And Bill's like, you know, they're not going to care. They're probably just going to crumple it up and throw it away, and I even think anything about it. But I have to get it. I have to get it out. I have to let them know.
Right.
And
I'm
some people do that on purpose so nobody parks next to them. You find them cars that think they got the best car, they gonna park.
I know. That's another one of my
So
pet
you
peeves.
can't
Oh God.
So that was conscious anyway. They did this. That depends on the person.
Right.
We call that egotistical parking. That's an egotistical park job right there.
I say go in the back then. Don't get no spot in no front. You go.
That's
You want to see all? If it's all like that, go park it behind right.
I
in the back.
know. And I have seen like big nice SUVs park way from all, and they'll park like diagonal. Now that I give respect
I
to.
can deal with. Yeah.
Yeah. But not
you
like
ain't handicapped in two spots. You ain't got no business doing that.
Exactly. That's right.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Even before pandemic, this one set heavy with me. We're going back to 15 and then down to 13 again. So standing too close.
Yeah.
You ever got somebody that's like, you're waiting in line somewhere and they're like literally their coat's brushing up against you?
Yes, I hate that.
Oh my goodness.
Or like if you're in the checkout line and their cart's literally on your jacket, on your butt, like
right,
you back up. Like personal space. Does that bother you guys?
Yes.
Yes, especially now.
Yes.
Especially, I know. I woke up to
Rondell and I'm like, they're not on dots. I'm like
they're not on dots.
Get on your dots. What are you doing? It's a picture. Dot.
That's hilarious.
Why are y'all on your dots? There's dots right there. Y'all not together. Y'all in the middle of the dots. Get on the dots. So
that's funny.
Yeah, it's different now. But even before that, now we have a reason, right? Because we got germs and all that stuff.
I hate when I'm checking out and I'm not even done with the transaction yet, and the person is like moving closer. I'm just like, can you not see? I'm still here.
Like unloading.
Yes. I'm like, I'm still here and speaking to this employee. I'm not done. Just because it looks like I'm like wrapping it up. Can you wait until I literally move? It's my gosh, it's so annoying. Oh my God. And believe it or not, even during this time, people have still been doing that to me. I'm just like, back up.
Yeah.
It's
for
crazy.
real.
It's crazy.
That's when somebody try to help somebody with their stuff in the car. I said, no, you know better than that right now.
Right.
Right. Exactly.
Don't try to help nobody that you don't know. Don't.
Right.
Not in this stuff. Just it's nice, but
right.
Not unless you're wearing a hazmat.
You could see the person wanted to be like, what are you doing? But they were the passive people who don't speak up for themselves. So they're like, thank you, when they're really looking like, are you kidding me?
Right,
so
exactly.
I feel bad for the people that can't speak up,
All right, here's one we've experienced when this is actually the third time we've connected, the three of us, because the first time we got thwarted by the internet.
Slow internet.
Oh, yes, slow internet. Big pet peeve. Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. Trying to do your banking, pay your bills, school the kids, do a podcast. And you're saying that that little thing keeps spinning and spinning and spinning. It's like being stuck at a traffic light for 3 minutes to me. I'm like, I reset the computer. I can't wait, Does that bother you guys at all?
Not me so much.
No,
But I can understand you guys, like you and Bill and Precious, you guys do your shows. That would bother me.
I
But-
need it for the kids for school.
And that too.
You know?
If I had kids at home doing online schooling and
But
stuff.
I would never put it in a pet peeve of mine.
Right.
So now, while there are certain things that are annoying, it just doesn't go on my list. It's just too much more important things than slow internet for me. You know, it could be here today, going tomorrow. You know,
That's
so
true.
I couldn't put so much power. Like pet peeves to me are stuff that is just like it's irritating. So now, you know, the slow internet could come every other day. I can be irritated every other day. So I need to find stuff that are more, you know. So while it's annoying, it would not be a pet peeve of mine where like, oh, there are certain things that you know what's a pet peeve of mine? Waiting on hold and speaking to the automated people. That is, I feel like I lose all of my, you know, thing with the automated phone. And I'm like, get me to the supervisor, get me to operator, because they can't, you know, so that's a pet peeve of mine. But slow internet, it's like, oh, I guess today's not the day. I guess it won't be that. God has spoken. He is the omnipresent internet. So since he's the internet for me, it just means that today he said, sit down, my child.
Sit down, my child.
That's right. Today you have a bonus day off, right?
Go do some other stuff. Get off of there. So
right.
All right. How about
what does that say?
Somebody saying no offense after saying something insulting.
Wait, say no offense.
Like,
okay.
Man, that shirt isn't really your color. No offense.
No offense.
You know?
It's so funny because I use a no offense first. I'll say, Melissa, no offense, but I gotta tell you something.
Right. Preparing to receive it. I think that's a better way. I think that's a better way to do it, because if I feel like if you were to say that to me, I'm bracing myself for the words.
Exactly.
And therefore, what you say next probably isn't going to be that bad. And I'll be like, oh, shoot, girl, that's fine. I get you. I can receive it now, you know?
Right,
So maybe that's a better way to do it.
Right.
Right. So you're not on attack. You didn't get hit in the chest. You're like, wait a minute. Well,
right.
No offense. Okay, let me see what you're saying. Oh, okay, none taken.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Don't kick the dog and then say sorry, kind of thing. I'm sorry that I have to punish you because you pooped.
Right.
You don't just whack them and then tell them why. You know.
Right.
You know, it's like you're looking fatter than the last time I seen you. No offense.
Right. Yes. Oh, you look really worn down today. No offense. You look like really tired today.
Are you tired? No offense.
Right.
Should you ask somebody, are they tired? You're looking at them like, are you tired? No offense.
I've said this. I said this a couple times, and then I had somebody else return it back on me. I was like, do you know what that makes me feel like when you say that? And I was like, well, I don't mean it that way. And they waited a while and returned it back on me. Oh shoot, it just went out the window.
Oh no.
It'll come back to me. I got sidetracked. What happened is I started visualizing the moment that it got slapped back in my face, and I was like, "Oh, that was a horrible moment." And it fizzled out. It'll come back. But
it's good to see and feel it, because it changes your empathy. Like I said, it wasn't until I got caught answering the phone and somebody had to say, "Girl, I'm glad they didn't run me over, because that's not what I normally do." So I'm glad that I had the good person say, "Girl, get out the way." But before that day, I was the person like, what are you doing? This is not a congregation spot. I wouldn't say that, but like, you know, excuse me. Mm-hmm. But now I'm more like, excuse me.
Yeah.
Change my tone. It's not the word, but how you say it. Now I say it better.
That's right. And, you know, it's got its own tone and its own inflection. Therefore, it delivers its meaning by that.
Exactly. It's emotional. Words are emotional, like I said. Emotional.
All right. How about, where do you guys stand with cracking knuckles, finger tapping, pen clicking, stuff like that?
I haven't been around it enough to care.
Yeah.
But I can tell you a story. When I was younger, my oldest sister, Janine, you know my niece Janine, her mom. Anyway, she's 3 years older than me. But when we were younger, my nails used to grow so strong and so nice. So I think I had to be about 10 years old. She must have been like 13 or 9 and somewhere. But I used to tap my fingertips like that.
I do it too.
And one day, and she would be like, stop. And I'd be like, why? You know, I was so proud of my nails. I was putting clear on them and taking care of them. And that was my, you know, that was a gift to myself for all the work I was doing to get my nails to be long and strong without, you know, the tips and stuff. So anyway, you know what she did? When I woke up the next day, honey, she had cut my nails down to nails.
Oh my gosh.
While I was sleeping, she cut my nails down. I say to this day, they haven't grown the same.
Oh my gosh.
Seriously. To the nubs.
That's creepy.
That was definitely
That's creepy.
That's definitely a pet peeve of hers.
Wow.
Oh my God. She crept in your room while you were sleeping and chopped your nails off?
Well, just jumped off the bed next to me.
Wow.
She had a good job, but honey, I woke up, I woke the whole house up. I went crazy.
Oh my
I would have too. I would have too.
The 10-year-old Precious, I'm glad we're going to have that conversation.
Yes.
Went crazy in the house. Like, oh, you got me.
Oh my gosh.
Who cut my nails? Imagine. So,
wow.
Oh my, yeah.
I would say that is a pet peeve of hers. So 11 matters to, what is 11? That matters to, it mattered to a little 13-year-old girl.
Wow.
Fingernail.
I'm a big finger tapper. I like to tap my fingers a lot. It feels good. I like the sound.
I think I grew out of it. Got me that was a good lesson, I guess, for me. I don't tap my fingers anymore.
I hate the knuckle cracking though. That that gives me like the stop. You're gonna get arthritis. That's what I always say. Don't do it.
But you know, our parents always told us that if you crack your knuckles, you'll have big hands. So when we were younger, if we got my mom and dad, they would be like, "Don't crack your knuckles. You're gonna have big hands." So that would stop me from crack. So it's seeds. Somebody told you cracking your knuckles, you're gonna be smart. You would crack it every day. It's just a seed that got planted that decides what you do and what you don't do. So one of those are the only reason why. Because I used to do it because it was like, wow, you could do that, and then your hands are gonna be bigger. And I might have got some big hands from it, which I think. Might be true after all.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know. I always was told that you get arthritis, but like I've always been around people who do the pop, crack, and I'm like, I can feel it. You know.
That's funny.
All right. Number 10. We're in the top 10 now.
Woo.
Dog owners who don't pick up their poop. I have a dog, and my dog likes to go poop in bushes. Like I live on a greenway. He prefers to go off the path. He needs his privacy. He up under the stuff. And I'm like, I scored so good with this dog. But sometimes when the weather's bad, he's got to do it here. I hate picking up the poop. I think it's horrible. So I'm blessed with my dog. But I do have neighbors that walk up and down and it's like, you're here every day. Why can you not just carry the bag and pick up the thing or a scooper? if somebody's letting their dog poop in their front yard and then your kid goes and slips in that poop, got it on the shoe, on the kid's pants, then it comes in the house and then it has to go in your washer. The whole time you're going, like, I kind of have a pet peeve with the people who don't pick up the dog poop, and I'm a dog owner, so.
Listen, I don't want to step in no poop, but I tell you one thing: them trees and them grass is very happy because, honey, ain't nothing fertilizer. You must got a green. It's green by you too, Melissa. Nice and green.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
fertilizer.
I don't pick it up unless I have to. I wouldn't leave it on somebody else's front lawn because I don't know what their situation is.
Yeah.
So I pick it up when it's not in a safe place, but he can go out in the woods anywhere he wants. I'm not picking that up. You know, it is fertilizer. But I will tell you, as much of a green thumb as I have and how much I love plants, I would never be saving that poop for some compost piles.
Not me. I don't with it. I don't want to walk the dog to have to pick up behind it, and I don't want to step in your dog poop. So I'm like on a fence. Only a pet peeve when I start stepping in it. It's gonna be like, you know, I would, you know, if I see that though, I think I'm more of a advocate. Rondell's like, oh my God, listen here, Sister Soldier. If you don't have a seat,
Oh, Sister Soldier.
so that's the joke around here. So if I saw it and it seemed to be a problem, if more than one or two kids actually stepped in the poop, and I probably would address the situation just so we could move better.
Right.
What about you, Dalila? Do you have a poop preference?
Well, I'd rather poop inside my house, but okay. but I love that the last couple of years we've been living in apartment communities, and so the nicer communities, I would say, do that DNA thing that if you have a dog and if you're renting here, you have to provide them with the poop sample. So if in case your dog does it, you don't pick it up, they can come and you get fined. Yeah, they fine you they fine you like $200. Yep. Yeah, like I said, the nicer apartment communities do that. So yeah, I mean,
of course, because that's called stature. Wow, I've never even heard of such a thing.
Yeah,
somebody brilliant.
I think it's
you
great.
See what you can do when you stop getting distracted by the problem and try to become the solution. Because I guarantee you, ain't nobody trying to pay no bill for no poop. It ain't worth it. Listen, the sheep ain't worth it.
It's not cheap. I think the fine is like $150. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. The shit ain't worth it.
I was just saying, right, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, that'll teach you a lesson. You don't want to pay that ever again. Yep. So I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. So
pretty accountable.
My mind.
That would make you a lot accountable if there was,
Yep.
All right. How about this one? I know this is usually a favorite among women. What about when somebody tells you to calm down? And I'm not talking about, when you're weeping and, you need to be told to calm down, like you want to hear that. Let's take it out of the whole text. Sometimes we want to be told to calm down and be held and, it's going to be okay. But I'm talking about not that way. I'm talking about when you are going off.
You like to be told to calm down. Right.
And somebody's saying, you better calm down. Like, what?
Right.
Where you guys stand with being told to calm down, whether it's from a boss, your spouse, a sibling, your kids.
That would definitely go on my pet peeve. I could take that one. Yeah.
I don't like it because I think when somebody tells me to calm down, it makes me feel that what I am upset and frustrated and expressing myself about is minuscule or it's inferior or it doesn't matter. Just because it doesn't bother you, telling me to calm down, you're not acknowledging the fact that it is a big part of my world and making me crazy,
Yeah.
Oh, look who joined us. Hey, William. We've been talking about you.
What did he say? What's that say? I can't read that.
It says, "Hey, ladies, I can hear you are having a wonderful time."
He probably came in on shit.
That's hilarious.
Yes, you came in. You just missed the shit topic.
Does misbehaving, don't he?
That's funny.
I think that's Bill's favorite potty word is the shit word. I think it's the only swear word I've ever heard him say. So it would be natural. It would be natural that you came in on. Where do you stand on that, Bill? How do you feel about dog owners who don't scoop the poop? Pop it in the comments for us. All right. So then we went from there to being told to calm down. What do you think, Dalila?
Where's that with you? I don't when you were saying, I feel like you're invalidating my feelings by you telling me to calm down.
Right. And
like you said, just because it's not important to you or you don't see why I'm upset, guess what? I'm upset for a reason. It's kind of funny. Sometimes I myself may not even know the reason why I'm upset. But the point is, let me have my my feeling about this, or let me have my emotion about this. Don't tell me to calm
Let
down.
me have my moment.
Right. Let me have my moment. Exactly. Exactly. And there's like that, that joke, a quick way to tell someone, you know, a quick way for someone not to calm down is for you telling them to calm down.
Exactly.
It's not going to work.
It fuels the fire.
Exactly. Exactly.
It really
Yes.
does.
It's like
It feels like you're controlling the moment, Like
Yeah,
if
right,
I'm
right.
irate, it's because something caused me to lose, So it's like it's dealing with what happened and not what started it. So it's like, yeah, hold on with the calm down. Now, as we practice better behavior and dealing with our emotions, we start to take it differently. But until you got that click in your head, oh no, it is a fire word. It is you don't tell me how
exactly.
Exactly.
Right. Yep.
It's
you
one of
don't
those
tell
things.
me
Look,
when
how
I'm
dare you?
you don't tell me when I'm disturbed to my highest level of festivity.
Exactly.
So
Right.
yeah, so it becomes oh, you want to tell me, So yeah, doesn't work when you're already at 100.
Right. Exactly. Yep.
This one actually.
You do better with, I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
right.
sorry. I didn't mean for you to get so irate, but don't tell nobody to calm down. Start with I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Take the whole sizzle out.
Right.
One scenario I've been told to calm down in is when I've had to be waiting on the elevator. Does waiting on the elevator bother you guys? Are you like the patient waiter, or do you click the buttons a bunch of time, or are you like you're sitting there like it hasn't moved from this floor in like 2 minutes? Does it freak you out? It freaks me out. I have a hard time waiting on the elevator.
No, I don't.
I don't have a hard time waiting on the elevator, but I will say, that's one of my like fears. Like elevators scare me. Like I don't like to get on the elevator. I didn't used to like get on elevators by myself. Like if I was in certain buildings, depending on what level, coming, especially living in New York, depending on what floor they were on, I would take the steps. So I am not an elevator person at all. So I'm not rushing the experience. So I'm just gonna let it take time. I'm thinking me pressing it too much is taking the office equilibrium.
Right.
So I'm gonna wait for it to come because I'm settling anyway. So that's one of my scary heights, and maybe because elevators go up and come down. I don't know. But yeah.
Right.
And so yeah, for me, I don't care about waiting on the elevator. I'm more concerned about getting on it.
Right.
I've actually been trapped in an elevator before.
Oh my gosh.
It was working. It was in the epicenter, uptown Charlotte.
Wow.
I was in the back and going up to, because the restaurant and bar that I was managing was 3 stories.
Oh, wow.
So we would always be, and then you had to go down to the parking garage to get the beer kegs and all this stuff. So I was up and down this elevator an awful lot. And it trapped me in there one day. It got stuck in between floors. The lights started sparking. I had to have.
Why did you tell me this story?
The fire department came. I was like,
oh my gosh,
the thing down just far enough. I had to literally slide out, and I was.
Oh my gosh!
I was like, please God, don't let this thing drop and sever me in half.
Oh my God.
Many scary movies, but I was totally tripping out. Elevators don't bother me even after that experience, although that was a horrific experience. It never stopped me from getting in an elevator again, but I hate waiting on them. I'm like, where's the stairs? I would rather run my butt down and take 10 minutes walking the stairs than waiting 5 for the elevator. That's just, I get too impatient, I guess. And so William says, in regards to how do you feel about the people who do not swoop after their dogs? He said, take their dog from them. They are not responsible pet owners.
Oh, wow.
So it's
that means it's definitely a pet peeve of his.
Wow.
I can tell by that response.
That's funny.
Around with William and let your dog leave a mess by him if you want to.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
On Bill's front
That's too funny. Oh my gosh.
All right. Let's go on to number 7. I see we're over the hour here. So let's we'll speed it up. I know you've got plans and I don't want to keep you guys too late. So All right, number 7, sneezing or coughing without covering your mouth. I think, again, even looking pre-pandemic, that's like a huge no-no now, you know?
Yeah, right.
Back in the day before this was like a life and death sort of situation to not cover your mouth, did that ever irk you? It always bothered me. I'm like, I always said that, cover your mouth, or I would like, shy away from somebody. Let me go the opposite direction, you know?
Right. Yeah, definitely. I always taught my kids too. The what's it called? This burst,
The elbow.
the elbow, because that's even better than this because it gets in your
Yeah, at least it catches that because then you go touch everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
They taught that to the kids at church, actually, which was weird.
This?
They're like, touch your elbow because even when you go leave the room, you have to touch the door. You got to do this. You got to touch so many things. So they say do it into your sleeve or whatever, and then all you got to do is wash your jacket. You know?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that's just gross. Ugh.
Oh, Precious said it knocked me out. Internet. What's she saying? Internet. Although still not a pet peeve of mine. Well, try to pop back on if you can. We're finishing up here in the next 5. We're going through these last few. I didn't realize we were that far over. So, all right. Number 6, excessive PDA, public display of affection. How do you feel when you see people making out in public?
I don't like it.
I don't either.
I'm very uncomfortable.
It's one of those ones that gets me irate. Like some people get irate over like driving bad or whatever.
Right.
It's like you don't know what anybody else's beliefs are, and there's children, and there's like, ooh, that's like X-rated for behind closed doors kind of thing.
Right.
I mean, I'm okay with kissing in public, you know.
Right. Oh yeah,
not
that's fine.
Not like that. Like you know, holding hands, hugging, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
But the full excessive PDAs.
Yeah. It's like, get a room. Ugh.
It's gross and disrespectful, I think, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, that's for you and only for you.
Right, exactly.
So, all right. How about number 5, top 5 here? Looking at your phone while somebody is talking, or like when you're talking to somebody and they're like, you're actively trying to engage with them and they're all they're doing is,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's my husband all day. And then he'll be like, I'm sorry, what? You said what? You know?
Right.
Listen, even when I'm on the lives and I'm trying to share it all out while I'm on, I'm like, okay, just want to let you know, I'm conscious what I'm doing. It's just not to ignore you. You know,
you always tell people too, like I'm gonna take this minute to like and share and stuff like that. So it looks like you're engaged. This is a very disengaging thing.
No, I'm talking about when I'm a guest. Like if I'm a guest, like right now, you know, that part. Like so you could be talking in the beginning and I'm like, you know what I mean? So it could appear to be like you're on your phone. I said, now unless you are sharing it out or doing something intentional that's gonna benefit the conversation, it is very rude.
Right. Yeah,
you know
definitely.
what I mean?
It makes you feel insignificant, I think. Sometimes.
Right.
Like whatever's going on outside of the room is more important than what's inside of the room. And so that can hit kind of like girl.
Yep.
All right. How about this one bothers me like nails on a chalkboard.
Well, you must say 8 for 1 bite.
When somebody's scraping their silverware on the plate or the silverware itself together.
They're trying to get that last bit of food. What you think scraping is?
It's even worse.
1 bite, that's all you hear over here is scraping. They get some paper plates.
That's that. I can deal with that. I can deal with that. Or when it's silverware on silverware, that it makes my head ring. It goes right up. I don't know why certain sounds bother us the way that they do, but that goes, I can feel it just ring through my whole my whole head and my whole spine, and it shuts me down.
Wow.
It's bad. It's intense. I do not do well with the silverware on silverware setup there. All right. I know this one's for Dalila. Number 3. It's made the top 3.
What is it?
Getting
stuck in traffic. Okay, actually, stuck in traffic, I don't mind if there's a reason. Does that make sense? Like if
Yes.
there's an
Yeah.
accident or construction, fine, I get it. But I hate being stuck in traffic when it's just people doing stupid stuff.
A
It's like,
rush hour, you
or like,
know?
it's like we could have made this light, but no, you're sitting here. What are you doing? Like
Right.
I just don't, again, people not aware that there's people around them. You know, I
So
mean, like
here's
I
the
said,
question with that same topic. Are you upset? You know how we be stuck in traffic? Are we more upset before we see it, or do we get upset after we find out? So, like with that same scenario, are you like, oh, we'll see when we get there, and then you get mad once you pass the traffic because you're like, this was stupid? Or
Right.
are you mad before and then you feel bad when you get to it because you're like, oh my God, this was an accident? So the question is, are we like, do we grab the wrong energy and then be mad, or do we get to the point and then decide which energy to grab? And does it matter after you've seen?
Right. My biggest thing is always just like, what's going on? Can you see what, like, if it's Bill's
Yep.
driving, can you
Yep.
see what's going on up there? What's going on up there? Is it, is it an accident? Is it, construction? I mean, I guess I don't get upset right off the bat. I think I get more upset after we come through it. It was literally just, I don't know, nothing. I'm like, really? Why were we stuck in this? Nothing is going on.
Exactly.
Right there, him. I mean, him on the road. I'd be like, oh, the poor people. He'd be like, I'd be advocating for everybody in the car. Well, maybe. This somebody gonna say, well, maybe. Listen, look at your energy. You're never even gonna see them again. Don't even give it to them. Well, maybe. I said, you don't understand. When I'm mad, I have a right to be irate with the people around me. The strangers is like, you ain't gonna see them tomorrow anyway. They probably out here. So, but he be so frustrated too. His whole energy is off, and it's like you just gave yourself away to those people. Save it for a good argument.
Right.
Yeah, I do have one tiny story. I guess when you're stuck in traffic, it kind of matters who you're with and what the situation is. If I'm late for work, we already had that at the top of
that's gonna be
that's on the list there. Like, oh, I'm already shaming and hating myself. Like, you're already gonna be 5 minutes late. Now I'm in traffic. Now you're gonna look even worse. But there was a time I went to go. My brother just moved to Maine. Prior to that, he was living. He lived in a couple different places in North Carolina. And on one of the road trips to go see him, when he was around the 2.5 hour mark away, my mom was in town from Detroit, and we took the road trip to go up there. And we literally were probably 10 miles from his house, and we hit this huge traffic jam on the highway. So it was like dead stop. It was no moving at all. And I'm like, okay, so checked my little handy dandy Siri. I'm like, oh, it says it's red everywhere. Like, I can see that already. We're going to be here for a minute. By the time we got to this, it was a 3-mile backup, literally going the pace of a snail. And what it was a pothole the size of a steering wheel.
Wow.
Like smaller than the tire of your car. And this was up in the mountains. But apparently it was a big deal. I don't know. So we sat there. It took us like an hour to get through that 3 miles. And to find out it was a tiny little pothole. We laughed. We're like, are you kidding me? This is what the world stops for up here? Wow. What happens when there's an accident?
Right.
We laughed it off. Had that have been myself, I probably would have been, if it was just me, I probably would have been pissed and been like, I can't believe I had wasted all this time. I should have been there and da, da, da. But me and my mom found a way to laugh it off, laugh about it, whatever. So I guess when you have those moments, getting stuck in traffic, sometimes it pays to have a passenger in the passenger seat.
Listen, I can agree that it burns my biscuits more when I'm
another one.
Burns my biscuits.
Yes, I'm gonna send that to my mom.
It burns my biscuits more when I'm running late. So of course I'm gonna have a different energy when I'm on time,
right,
and when I'm out of time. So it really depends. Number 3 matters depending on how good I've done with my day. That lollygagging that we do.
Right.
So I'm more irate, right? When it's like I have a sense of urgency. I'm more calm when I don't, you know? So it's like, oh, you can get over it. So it's like it depends on your sense of urgency, who you gonna meet on the road. And when the people are moving slow, my nose like they're moving slow, you know what I say? I say, oh, they're on time.
Right.
We're bad. That's why we're bad. They are on time. They are gliding like they have all day, and we are like, oh my goodness. So that's hilarious. Right. I would say I had to think about it. It's my pet peeve, depending on how late I am that day.
Right.
That's right. Well, you know what really burns my biscuits?
That's hilarious.
I love that phrase. I love it. I'm keeping it. And I know, Precious, I'm sure you've got this up in your world. Dalila, you have to let me know. I know you've been through it, I'm sure. But when the laundry or shoes are on the floor next to the laundry basket or shoe rack, it's literally this far to put it where it goes. Right. Kind of like I said with the plate going in the dishwasher, you're going to set the plate right over the dishwasher, but you cannot open the door and slide it in there. I have a hard time with that. And you know what's crazy? My husband's just as bad as the kids. Shh. Truth.
That's the
truth.
That's the real secret. Depending on you.
I pick up his shoes. He leaves at least 2 pairs of shoes in the living room. I go pick up of his in the morning, along with the 2 by the back door. That's the kids, and maybe the one that's in the dog bed that's made its way to the dog bed. I'm like, there are 2 places for these things. Your clothes go in the baskets that everybody has in their closet. You take it off and you put it in the basket. It's very basic. I think in kindergarten we learn this stuff. You take it off.
Right.
Put it in the bucket, you know. The shoes, you take them off, put them in the bucket, put them on the rack, whatever you happen to have at your house. But why? Everywhere, all over the house. And it's day after every single time, in and out. Super pet peeve of mine, if you can't tell.
Yeah.
It could be one of those universal things. I'm not lying. Just last year, I think we actually had a come into aha moment in this house, because I was like, Chef Ron, why do you not put the stuff right in the basket? It's right next to it. And he was like, I didn't think about it. So now he consciously puts it in the basket. Sometimes he didn't think about it. Ooh, what amazing conversation. He just did it. It wasn't like he was being intentional. It wasn't like he wasn't. He just was being. Wow. So we had to change his state of being so that we can be on the same stage, and it really helped. But all those years, I just would pick it up and carry it.
And how can they think about it unless you tell them? You know, they never thought about it because we all have been sitting there picking up. They don't see it. They don't see it in the morning. It's already gone and taken care of. So I just point it out, you know, it's like they don't realize. I forgot, you know.
You have that problem, Lady D?
Well, it's funny. Bill and I just had this conversation. He's okay with, he puts things in the basket. You know, after 30 years, he finally caught on. But he has issues with socks. I don't know what goes through his little mind, but he will I will find just one sock, like not the pair of socks, just the one. And I'm like, Bill, where's the other sock? Oh, I think it's in my office. So this is what he does. He'll take off one sock in his office and then come to the bedroom and take the other sock off. I'm like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. And I think he's always done that. I think that's what he just does that. Maybe not realizing, maybe like if he's sitting down
in his mind.
Yeah, maybe like he's sitting on the computer, I'm going to take my sock off, and then not even thinking, and then I said to him, that's what drives me insane. And then he'll say, then he got defensive because I said, is this sock missing? It is not missing. I know exactly where the other sock is. I'm like, okay.
Office is his sock junk drawer, right? That's where all the missing socks go to die. Is in
right. I'm just like, why can't you keep them together? He's like, I don't know. He's like, it's just something I've always done. I'm just like, okay, all right. You know, pick your battles. It's not a big deal.
I gave up on the sock battle in this house too. We're
It
at
looks
a
like my internet is about to lose me again. What's that? What's your last one?
Yeah, what's the
All right.
last one?
Keep on going.
the last one, having
To repeat yourself.
Definitely deserves a #1 spot. Let me tell
Having to repeat yourself.
One for me, having to repeat myself. And I feel like women in general, we have to do that a lot. So
Right.
yeah, having to repeat myself. I think that's my #1 pet peeve for sure. So big news as we're rolling out here this episode of Laughter. Guess what? I don't know if you know or not, Precious, but I found out right at the beginning here that it's Super Bowl weekend is Sunday is Dalila's birthday.
Yes.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Birthday to you.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday to you. Happy birthday. That was way off. Dear Dalila, birthday to you.
Thank
and
you.
many, 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 many more.
Thank you.
We should maybe have a both of y'all both have iPhones, right?
Yes.
Yes.
We should maybe have a toast on Sunday. We can iPhone each other in.
Yes.
That's right.
Have a drink,
Right.
a cocktail.
That's right. We can do a virtual birthday toast.
We hate to tease all of the viewers, but we're going to have a birthday toast.
Okay.
So, yep, she's getting ready after this. She's getting ready to go head out and party it up and have a wonderful dinner and socializing and go to the brewery.
This is Super Bowl Sunday.
Yes, it is.
I didn't realize, but the pandemic got me shut in, really. Shut in.
Yep.
I don't know what's going on no more.
No. He said the same thing. My husband said the same thing to me this morning. He's like, you're going to the grocery store. He's like, why don't you get some ribs and some chicken wings and this and that bacon? I'm like, what has gotten into you? With why do you need this mass amount of meat? He goes, what's Super Bowl on Sunday?
Right.
Oh, okay, I get it.
People are used to doing the same emotions no matter what, right? It's like.
So, basically, so Dalila's celebrating her birthday. My husband's celebrating Super Bowl. I've got a couple shows I'm going to be recording this weekend for some guests that are going to be recorded for next week because of schedule situations. And I got great news from Brittany Thomas today. All of my brand bracelets, my Lessons and Legacies bracelets are in the mail and on the way. So I'm going to have brand new stuff to add to the store and share with you guys next week. So what you got coming up, Precious? You want to leave us with any final words as we head on out?
Yes, as always, you can never turn on anybody else's light, but you can provide enough light for them to find their switch. So stay lit in this world so somebody can find their way out of the darkness. It is your responsibility. I hope that our light shine a little bit into your day-to-day to make you not sweat the small stuff, but recognize you get to dictate your reality. So choose to make the reality that you want by finding the best stuff in your day. So we love you and we thank you for sharing your Friday with us because I know these are the special days.
That's right.
Dalila, any final words from you, my love?
I don't know. Just keep on moving. I don't know.
That's right, babe.
That's right. Just put one foot
in front of the other. That's right.
But do it at a quick pace. Don't be slow.
Yes.
And as always, I say there's a lesson or a blessing in every lesson.
That's right.
So much blessing and laughter. So thank you guys yet again for coming to join us for another episode of shenanigans and love and fun. And hopefully this was a good kickoff to your weekend.
Yes.
Stay safe if you're going out celebrating birthdays or ball games, whatever it is. Stay safe. Know you're loved, and we will see you guys on Monday. Right? Yeah, Monday.
Yeah.
Monday.
It's Friday. It's Friday.
You guys have a blessed
weekend break.
That's
see you Sunday.
That's right. Mm-hmm. All right.
I'll see you Sunday.
Our view.
Well, and we will catch you next week. Happy Super Bowl.
Bye.